What's up, family? Man, I want to have a heart to heart with you real quick. Man, the power of forgiveness. The power of forgiveness. And I talk about this quite a bit here. You know what I mean? Man, we have to learn how to forgive and how to move on. Many of us have never learned the art of forgiving, the importance of forgiving. And so we can't really move on in life. We'll move on to another job, we'll move on to another relationship, but we won't move on emotionally. We won't progress any further than where we were at. We won't heal. We won't do anything in that regard because we've never learned how to forgive. And for some reason, for some of us, that's a hard thing. Man, I'll never forget these motherfuckers for woo doo doo. And my father did da 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 da. And my mama did da 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 da. And my baby daddy did da da. My husband, my wife. That we have all these people that we won't forgive for whatever reason. And all that does is hurt us and the people that come into our lives. It doesn't affect them at all. At all. Whether you forgive somebody else or not, if you don't forgive your baby daddy, your baby mom, that's not going to impact their life. And so many of us, man, we're stuck, we're mad, we're angry, we're bitter because somebody ended the relationship, somebody cheated, somebody did whatever it is that they done, and that person has moved on. That person's in another relationship. That person's probably moved on to another state, another city, whatever the case may be, and they're living their life. And you're still holding on to all those negative, toxic ass thoughts about that person. You're still holding on to all the shit that they put you through. You're still holding on to the fact that you gave your all and this motherfucker fucked you over. And now, all of a sudden, now they want to go live their best life. Now, all of a sudden, now they want to be a king. Now they want to be the man. The person that I was trying to get this motherfucker to be with me, this motherfucker couldn't be that way. He kept dogging me out. Now they with somebody else and they living their best life. Now they with somebody else, they in church. Now they with somebody else. Man, he's happily married, he's faithful, he's loving, he's caring, he's taking them on vacations and all the shit I wanted that motherfucker to do with me. He couldn't do with me, but he's on with some raggedy head, nappy head hoe, and she doing all that shit for her. I hope she dog him the fuck out. And we have all this negative shit inside of us because we can't let go and because we haven't learned how to forgive and release that other person. But then we talk all this spiritual shit. I'm woke, I'm this, I'm in light. I got Christ consciousness, I got Buddha consciousness, I got God consciousness, I got da 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 da. And we get all this shit. We rocking all of our fucking crystals. We saging, we burning bay leaves, we doing all this shit. We out up under the full moon, we humming and we meditating. We doing all this stuff, and we still haven't learned how to forgive. You still haven't learned how to let go. And sometimes our ego will have us so twisted. Our ego will make us think that we forgave that person. Our ego will have us so discombobulated, we think we moved on. Because it's no longer in our conscious mind. I don't even think about that nappy head motherfucker. Sorry ass motherfucking hoe and da. We don't even think about them anymore because we're distracted with something else. And so we'll take that distraction and we'll misunderstand it as we've healed. And the truth is, you really haven't healed. You haven't moved on because you haven't forgiven them. And it's easy to say, I forgive you. Forgiveness is not what you say, it is action. It is action. It's being able to say, you know what? I no longer hold you, or I no longer blame you for whatever's transpired. Because I understand the big picture. Because I understand the lessons that I was supposed to learn from this situation. Because I've now learned these lessons. And yes, what I went through was traumatic. What I went through fucked me up. But I've learned the lessons that I was supposed to learn in every situation. There are life lessons. Most of us never humble ourselves. Most of us never get in alignment with Source, God, the universe, the Most High, to understand the lessons attached to the circumstances. We don't understand the lessons attached to our situations, to our experiences. And that's why we keep repeating them. That's why we keep getting in relationships just like the last one. That's why we keep getting hurt. That's why we keep getting let down. That's why we keep getting disappointed. That's why we keep getting cheated on. That's why we keep getting disrespected. Because we haven't grown the fuck up emotionally and we haven't learned the lessons. And because you haven't learned the lesson, you can't really forget them because you don't see the benefit or purpose of why you went through what you went through. You don't. That's why you're still blaming them. That's why you're still mad at them. That's why you're still carrying hatred and bitterness and animosity towards them. That's why when their name pops up or somebody says something about them or somebody reminds you of them, ooh, your vibes change. Your feelings change. You can be in a good mood and then you'll think about them or somebody will remind you of them. Or you hear a song or something that'll remind you of them. And it's a slight shift in you. You're no longer that happy, loving, caring person you were. You're no longer that vibrant person. Life is just so, because you've been reminded of this motherfucker. Now you kind of, low-key toxic. Now you kind of, man, fuck this motherfucker. Man, fuck this place. So, You know what I mean? You own one now. And lots of, we don't even know that we've been triggered. We don't even know why our mood is changed. Because you were triggered. And that's God's way of showing you, you still got some healing. You still got some growing up to do in this area. You could talk all the shit you want to about you saved, sanctified, Holy Ghost, soul, water baptized, running for the Lord. Man, all your chakras are in alignment. And you know what I mean? You could talk all this shit you want to. You ain't healed. You still damaged. And you have to grow up. You have to grow up. There's a lot of people that I had to learn how to forgive. A lot of people. My father. And that was hard. That was hard. I had to forgive my aunt. I had to forgive the women in my life. I've had a lot of people I've had to forgive. But I had to learn how to forgive me too. And see, one of the things about forgiveness is humility. Forgiveness is, hey, you know what? I know they hurt me. I know they betrayed me. They, whatever it is that they've done. I'm angry and bitter and mad because I expected more out of them. And the truth is, I wanted them to be perfect. And they wasn't perfect. See, I didn't realize that I was expecting them to be perfect. I didn't think that at all. It wasn't until God started helping me understand. And for me, when I started growing up, it was like, oh shit. I was demanding perfection. I expected my father to be perfect. I expected my auntie to be perfect. I expected all these other motherfuckers to be perfect. And what I mean by that is, man, they hurt me in this area. They wasn't supposed to hurt me, according to me. They hurt me because they weren't perfect. And I had to understand nobody's perfect. Elijah, you're not even perfect. How can you get mad at these people for making mistakes? How can you get mad at these people for fucking up when you yourself have made mistakes, when you yourself have fucked up, when you yourself have fumbled the ball? Don't get angry and mad at them because they messed up. Don't get mad and angry at yourself because you've messed up. Learn the lesson. What's the lesson? What is the lesson in this situation? And that's something you're going to have to get in alignment with God. Okay, God, man, what am I supposed to have learned from this? What else was I supposed to learn from this person betraying my trust, my business partner, and them running off with the money or them stealing the clients and da 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 da? What was I supposed to learn from this? And so many of us, we get defensive and guarded. I'll never trust another motherfucker. Da, da, da. I'll never trust another fucking dude again. I'll never trust a motherfucking bitch again. And da, 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 da. I'll never trust a fucking white person again. I'll never trust a motherfucking black person again. I'll never trust a fucking Hispanic person. And we got all this stupid shit that we come up with. That's a self-defense mechanism that keeps us on that low frequency. That shows us that we're on that low frequency and we're not growing and we're not healing. You got to learn to forgive. You got to learn to let go. And you can only really let go once you forgave. And you can only really forgive when you've learned the lesson. When you've learned the lesson. See, because when you learn the lesson, you understand, this is what I was supposed to learn. This is what I was supposed to get from this situation. Okay. I wouldn't have learned these valuable life lessons had I not gone through this. I wouldn't understand how powerful I really am had I not been beat down in life. I wouldn't really understand my power, my authority, my voice had I not gone through. I wouldn't have learned how to rely on myself and learn how strong and resilient I am had I not been abandoned and rejected and hurt and da 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 da. I wouldn't learn how to lace up my boots and get back up and get back into life if I'd never been knocked down. If I'd never fallen, I wouldn't have learned how to get back up. I wouldn't learn how to bounce back. But when I come back different because I come back with this knowledge and this wisdom and with this understanding that I didn't have before. So I'm a better person because I've gone through this. Most of us never become a better person because we go through anything. We become bitter, not better. And we become bitter because we haven't forgiven. We have to grow up. Man, I hope and pray that I said something to inspire you, to encourage you, to challenge your way of thinking. We have to become better. We have to learn how to forgive. We have to learn how to release. release others, and release ourselves from the notion that we have to be perfect. I love you.